Hello everyone, Tenty Jester here, and the Eric meme is a pile of shit. Happy 20th anniversary. Hi James.
Hi, I'm here as well.
Yes, James is here for my first ever proper YouTube video.
I'm not dying, as I was this week. I have my own 20th anniversary video. This is, but I'm also helping Owain with his one, and I guess if you want to take the floor in describing what this is, because I want to take over your channel after all.
We are going to be talking about 20 matches for 20 years of Robot Wars. However, 10 of them are going to be the best matches. 10 of them are going to be the worst matches. James is discussing the worst because he's a stickler and a killjoy.
Hey.
And I'm discussing the best because I'm Welsh and therefore superior to everyone.
That's not true. I mean, your Welsh wife have some problems with that. I mean, she has a lot of wool, granted, but you know, she's got a good heart. But yeah, that's what we're doing, and bear in mind when I say these are the worst battles, I don't blame the Roboteers or anything. This is all just for a little bit of fun, because who cares if they're the worst battles, because if anything, it makes you enjoy the good battles even more.
Who cares if half of the battles on your worst list are occupied by napalm?
It does seem like the case, unfortunately. There are at least about 4 or 5, about at least 4 of them have napalm involved.
Oh, really?
Yes, 4 of them have napalm involved, which is just under half the list. And you won't even think I was joking. Most of them are in the top 5 as well. So,
I was
you know,
joking.
I
don't
know
his list, by the way.
No, it's just completely serious. And again, it's just a joke. And this list again, when it comes to matches, everything's unpredictable. Some robots might not work the way they were supposed to. Some don't even work at all. Or if you turn your robot on, in the case of max damage, that helps as well. But that's not on the list, by the way. My criteria of my list involved they had to be televised. They had to be an actual battle. So if one robot just didn't move, that doesn't count. And no side, no kind of different weight class side events, except if it's extreme. Extreme is the only exception where pretty much everything is side events. But apart from that, that's my kind of rule. So the reserve rumble or the middleweights in like Series 3, they were crap battles. They weren't that great, but they weren't main competitors, so it wasn't a big surprise. So
and my only rule is it had to be televised. So nothing like TX108 versus Hypnodisc. I know how much we all wanted to see that magnificent 30-second fight.
Yes, but Hypnodisc didn't work.
We're not having that on this list.
No, and we are starting on my number 10 worst, so we can end with the number 1 best. Just because we're going to be alternating between the two, so better get mine out of the way then.
End on a high note.
Yes, exactly, the best note possible. But anyway, number 10 on my worst battles list is a very sad battle for me, just for what it could have been. Hypnodisc versus Dominator 2 from Series 5 semi-finals.
Oh god, that
this battle
had so much potential.
And one thing ruined it. The fucking ref bot didn't do his job. And I mean, honestly, people blame Hypnodisc for this fight. I blame the ref bot because it was obvious that Dominator 2 was immobilized on one side. It couldn't move. They given up the controls. Hypnodisc had given up the controls. And what did ref bot do? Watch the fight go to the 5 minutes. Because that's what the ref bot's supposed to do.
I think the guy who was driving ref bot just had to go for a pee break.
Maybe the light just didn't work on his counter. They just went, well, we can't do anything about it. We didn't even call cease. They just went, I don't know. It was, I mean, weird, because up until that point, it was an okay fight, but, and then that had to ruin the whole thing. And considering this was the second round of the semi-finals, it's such an underwhelming fight.
And considering also it featured 2 robots that could have a good fight with nearly anything.
Yeah, and 2 of the best performing robots of that series as well, at that point, still, and Dominator 2 can never catch a break and get past the second round of the semi-finals, can it? But
hell, these were in the top 8 robots of that series. It should have been beyond the point where you were having crap matches.
You should have been having like Chaos 2 and Wild Thing level, but...
And we'll get to that.
We'll get to that one, of course, yes, but... yeah, this is why it's so low on the list, because the first half of the battle was at least what we expected, and the second half just ended up being a very sad anticlimax. So, maybe like my life in general. So that was.
Oh, how sad! I'm playing the world's worst violin for you, James.
Thank you, but yep, that was my number 10 spot.
Your number 10? Well, that's my number 10 for best fights, and it is Apollo and Gabriel versus Tomahawk and Cobra.
Ooh, bit of a modern episode.
A tag team match.
I like it.
And it's the only tag team match on this list. It was a fantastic fight, a lot better than what anyone would have expected.
I mean, everyone knows who the star of the show was.
Yeah. When we saw the lineup for International Robots, I couldn't count how many people were thinking, oh, it's just going to be a squash fest for the UK robots. Oh, they're not going to stand a chance. No, they went the full 3 minutes. And yeah, Tomahawk drove in the pit, but that was at the very end. Tomahawk and Cobra did really well against two seasoned veterans in the UK.
Cobra was always a star, wasn't it? I mean, even in Series 9.
Yeah.
And
Very unlucky not to get past the first round, but it was up against Behemoth in Eruption. It wasn't going to win.
No, it better come back in Series 11 if there's a Series 11. Please, maybe a Series.
I
please.
would love it to come back in Series 11.
They were the most promising foreign robots apart from Tough as Nails, so we need them back. But this was an amazing fight, and actually it's the most modern fight on this on either of these lists.
Yeah, it is the latest one. So spoiler alert: you're not going to get any fights from the second episode of the World Series.
I don't think there were any fights in that battle, apart from maybe Tough as Nails one. But
no, Concussion versus Weber was alright.
That was decent, but that's a good spot for number 10.
Yeah, it was really good. Tomahawk and Cobra did amazing against the former UK champion and the indestructible Thwackbot. I loved it.
It was glorious.
The only down was Tomahawk driving into the pit.
Is that the reason why it's maybe number 10 then? Because it wasn't like every robot was as epic as Cobra.
It's just a bit of bad driving at the very end, but that's if it wasn't for Tomahawk driving into the pit, it would have gone to like number 8 or something.
Fair enough. Number 9 worst is a battle that a lot of people might not put in their top 10 worst battles, but it pains me, this one. It pains me. It is Disco Inferno, Shadow of Napalm, and Major Tom from Series 4. I'll leave it right. Major Tom, honestly, in this battle was the one that I have no problems with, because it's Major Tom, I'll never have a problem with him. But Disco Inferno losing to Shadow of Napalm because they ran into them was very, very unfortunate. It was such a sad thing, because, okay, Series 4 Disco Inferno wasn't the most destructive thing ever, but at least it looked competent, it looked cool. Shadow of Napalm was probably my least favourite Napalm robot, and that's saying a lot. Only because it is personally my least favourite. I mean, I kind of don't hate the Napalm lot as much as I used to when I was younger, but this one is probably just one, and it's just because it falls apart a lot easier than the Series 3 Napalm, which was the Series 2 Napalm. And they had an excuse, because they got thwacked by, Stegosaurus all the time. But Shadow of Napalm didn't really do anything in this battle, it just kind of plodded about. And Major Tom didn't do anything either, really, but Disco Inferno ran into them, and then died, and then they lost, and then
I'm taken aback to when Mike reviewed this episode, and he was just so looking forward to seeing Shadow and Napalm against two really badly built robots for the time.
Imagine, didn't we all want to see some destruction? I mean, it's the first time that Napalm went against a relatively destructive robot, and no.
I remember Mike saying specifically, Major Tom then looked like he was built by the Top Gear team.
It really does look like a kind of really funny joke robot by them. And again, it's why Major Tom's not really focused on this one, because they didn't really do anything in anything of Series 4, really. But Disco Inferno, it was supposed to be a good robot. You were supposed to be the one. They should have swapped him out with Hypnodisc, honestly.
Yeah.
That would have been funnier. but yeah,
put these together in the first round. So
it's the only intro battle of Series 4 of the three-way melees, just because it's on this list, because out of all of them, it's the one that stands out as being like, there are them that are just kind of boring, like the one with Maverick or Destructible or something, but they're just kind of where things happen and nothing that interesting. This is just a disappointment and sticks out to me, so I just can't call it a good battle when your best robot runs into the worst robot and dies.
Yeah.
So that's why it's number 9 on my list.
It also means that Shadow of Napalm now technically owns a knockout victory over someone.
Yeah, that's sad.
Robot Wars!
Yay! 20th anniversary, celebrating the bad things since 1998.
Oh god, we're getting depressed and we're only at number 9.
Please tell us your 9th best, please.
Stinger versus Pussycat in the All-Stars.
There we go.
This was a really good back and forth match.
It was a very underrated battle as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised not a lot of people mention this battle when it comes to best. Because people didn't give Stinger a rat's ass chance against Pussycat, but it held out. it held out, and it took it to a really good back and forth fight.
It was nice seeing all the stuffing coming out of Stinger for some reason. It was kind of satisfying.
It was really satisfying, but like I said, Stinger held out against the second seed. I can't find a fault with this fight. The only reason it's so low on this list is because, frankly, there are better matches out there.
That's true, but the All Stars did produce some good fights in Extreme, and I'm not as big a fan of Extreme 2 as much, but Extreme definitely at least gave us some really, really cool battles. And unfortunately, there are some bad ones, but this one was definitely an underrated gem, and I'm actually quite glad you mentioned this one, because I thought it was a very fun fight as well, and one of the few All Stars that lasted to the full 3 minutes in the first round.
Yeah.
Deservedly so, because these two rules are very durable together.
Yeah. It was also one of the few Extreme 1 main events that was actually worth watching.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there wasn't many events in Extreme that were worth watching. So it was glad they actually had some hype for some build-up that was worth it. You know.
Oh god, Sir Chromalot versus Plunderbird.
Yeah, Forever Bill being the most disappointing battle, or maybe that or the Panic Attack International one. Because I was like, is Panic going to lose? No. That's how it built up to be.
Well, it was up against Manta.
Yeah, it's Panic Attack though. Manta's good, but it's not going to beat Panic Attack. Let's face it. In Series 5, anyway. Series 6, yeah. But
Series 6, yeah. Disco Inferno in Series 4 could beat Panic Attack in Series 6.
Oh, definitely. But is there anything else to add to that battle? Or
not really. It's just a really good fight between two really good robots in a really good tournament.
Cool. Number 8 worst on my list is a robot that is infamous in Series 3 for me. And its only battle in the series didn't really help it either. It's the Dark Destroyer versus Sergeant Meekle. This battle. I mean, the Dark Destroyer.
As I like to call it, the axe is gonna come down eventually.
Sometime at the speed of gravy. I mean, Sergeant Meekle's robot. I've made fun of before in the past, and again, I get a kick out of it, but I still kind of enjoy it for. I mean, it doesn't look like the worst robot ever until... I think that's the thing about Sergeant Meekle. It doesn't look like a robot that you think wouldn't be that good until it starts moving. And that's when you realise... It's that disappointment moment when you're younger, you go, oh, right, it's not that great. But then the Dark Destroyer, you think, oh, it's got a big blade on the back. It's... and this is before Hypnodisc, before we saw Hypnodisc, it's like a couple of heats time. So
before this was.
Yeah, it was. So we hadn't even seen Hypnodisc yet. So this was expectations lowered for Hypnodisc at this point.
At one point in Robot Wars history, Dark Destroyer was the most feared spinner.
Yeah, and it was a helicopter blade that was so good it ended up bending itself into itself. So that against Sergeant Meekle's armor, and all the damage it did was little scratches. And all I remember about this fight, I haven't watched any of these fights in a while until I'd watched some of them for the list to make sure which ones would go on. All I remembered about this fight until the last time I saw it was when I did the Heat review on it about a year ago, and I remember it was just two robots spinning around in a circle for about 5 minutes. That's basically all the battle was, and Sergeant Meekle got some damage to it, and Dark Destroyer did something, but.
It's not really worth remembering, is it?
No, it's not one. It's just one of it's a very typical Series 3 boring battle. It really is. But this one elevates it by the fact that you had Sergeant Meekle in it. I don't know why. That somehow just makes it worse.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain why, but I don't know. This battle just sucked. So it was just two slow robots against each other, and that's what you ended up getting: a really slow and boring battle. Yay!
Fun.
I have nothing else to say about this battle. It sucked.
God, I hated Dark Destroyer back then.
I don't hate Dark Destroyer as much now. I mean, hell, I love it just for the wagglers in Series 4 alone, but, that's not going to make me love the robot, but it's... I like its design. At least it was unique, at least. At least it wasn't just a box on wheels or something, or a wedge. It was quite a cool idea. It just wasn't executed too well.
It was unique, just failed.
Yeah, it didn't work the way it was supposed to, but it definitely at least was unique, and I can give it that. And, hell, it's a Heat finalist. It's better than some robots can say. Mortis.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what is your number? Well. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So what's your number 8 then?
My number 8 is another Series 3 match.
Ooh.
All Talk versus Thing 2.
This is where we're coming in now. This is my personal favourite fight from Series 3.
God damn, this is the best fight of Series 3. There's no other Series 3 matches on this list. This
Really?
match was so ahead of its time. It was so good. With essentially two weaponless robots.
It's sort of the equivalent of like your Behemoth versus Apollo match, or these kind of really close battles, or like your Tornado versus Storm 2. These kind of battles.
It was an endurance match where one robot just beat the other down, but it was so back and forth you couldn't tell where it was going until one robot actually broke down.
And unfortunately, it had to be the one I liked more. Unfortunately, I mean, I like Wild Thing. Thing 2 was just a wedge. Well, I mean, so fair enough. So is Wild Thing and Series 4 and 5. It had more to it, but I liked All Talk. Again, it's the last time we'll see All Talk do anything in any of the series.
Yeah, the Talk team are a really sad case for me because their robots just. Well, Series 2 was good for its time. Series 3 was great for its time. And then after Series 3, they just kept going downhill.
Making small talk.
Small talk.
Fighting talk.
Was so unnecessary and the cooling system failed.
Actually, you know it's kind of sad when out of all the robots either associated with them or the guys they made themselves, Bot Out of Hell's your best one. That's...
No.
Wow.
People only remember Bot Out of Hell because Daniel Sloss would later become a very famous comedian.
I remember Bot Out of Hell because it's a Meatloaf reference, that's it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this was an amazing fight. Two equally matched robots going against each other, and again, it was just down to durability at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And while the better robot won, technically, it was a great fight. I can't really knock it, and it's why it's one of my favourite heats, because Thing 2 really earned its place in the final.
Yeah, I love the Thing robots as well, so maybe it's a little bit of bias, but All Talk and Thing 2 definitely deserves to be on any Robot Wars top 10 list.
And it's definitely a battle I think that was underrated, and the more I got into watching more of the series regularly, the more I realised this battle is just no one's talking about this battle.
I know, it's because it's an old battle, it's in Series 3, so people associate with just, two robots just bump into each other and one dies.
Yeah,
that's what happens, but it's so exciting.
Also a bit of an honourable mention for All Talk as well, doing well against Razor in the International Special as well.
Yeah.
Fair enough, it was probably the best robot for Razor to grab a hold of, but basically it was the pre-Tornado.
Yeah, it makes me wonder why they didn't just improve this version of All Talk instead of making Small Talk.
I don't know, they wanted to go for something different, and that's it.
It didn't work, did it?
Didn't work, but at least they tried it, at least they made it, it's their robot, and they tried it. But it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an awesome battle.
Right, what is your 7th worst Robot Wars fight?
It's so bad, someone made a cake out of it. Firestorm 2 versus Bolt from the Blue.
I knew it. I knew what it was as soon as you said cake.
Well, yeah, what other robots make out of cakes that I hate? I mean, this battle, right, some people argue Firestorm 2 didn't deserve to win. Some people argue Firestorm 2 deserved to win. I say, who cares? It was a rubbish battle. This was a battle I couldn't even bother watching. I just skip it when I go through marathons of the series because it's so boring. Because Firestorm can't get underneath Bolt from the Blue. Bolt from the Blue runs out of flips after 4 flips. It lifts up Firestorm. It doesn't really flip it over. It just lifts it once or twice. I don't remember. It's been ages to watch this battle. Said legitimately, and it's just. It's a bad battle. It's just boring. It's just two wedges running around each other that can't even get underneath each other. It's not even like, I don't know, Wild Thing or something that can get underneath the robots and go really fast. Or, even Really Big Cheese when its flipper's not working, it's just one big wedge and it's kind of fun to see how it'll do. But these two robots, one has a working weapon that can't get underneath the other, and the other one has a weapon that doesn't work for very long. You end up with a really kind of boring battle, and again, why this person got so annoyed at it that they had to get their wife to make a cake out of it to show how petty they are about it. I don't know. They could have just come back and tried again, but they didn't, and ended up getting really annoyed instead. I mean, fair enough. I could see why they could have won the battle, but then again, the Morgue versus Bolt from the Blue probably win the most disappointing heat final of anything.
Yeah.
I
do think Bolt from the Blue did win that fight because Because it actually did flip Firestorm a few times, and that's the only reason why. But at the same time, I'm glad Firestorm did win, because then we got the Series 4 semi-final one, and that was one of the best Robot Wars episodes in history.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been as good if Bolt from the Blue went up against Dominator 2 in the first round.
No, that would have been funny, though. I mean, hell, Bolt from the Blue only got through because Ming 2 flipped over Deitor in, 2 seconds?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only reason they got through. So, they didn't do anything in their own opening battle. And when they had to do something, they couldn't do anything. So, the curse
You know that fight is actually the only fight in Robot Wars history that has 3 different types of flippers in it.
Really? Oh, you got the spring powered, you got the electric, and you got the pneumatic, I guess. Wow.
So I was going to say spring powered, rear hinged, and front hinged.
I suppose, actually, yeah, that's a good point. That doesn't make the battle interesting, though.
No, it's just a random fact.
Oh, well, there's something interesting there, I guess. But yeah, that battle just sucks. And if everyone's arguing about it, shut up. Who cares? It was like, it was almost 20 years ago now. No,
Your robot is bad, and you should feel bad.
Hey, that's not very nice. Anyway, what is your number 7? Please get rid of this bad taste from this battle.
My number 7 is a opening round melee. Actually, it is Smidsy versus Come Getrix versus Syntaggro versus Warhog.
Interesting.
It
Warhog
was
being in
such a fun fight.
Warhog being in a top 10 best. Interesting.
I loved it. I cannot stop watching this fight. It is so fun. And JP losing his shit throughout the entire fight as well. Makes it even better.
You know, the best bit for this battle for me was when Warhog got piggybacked on Spidsy.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Actually, considering that Warhog did nothing in Series 5, it was nice to do something about in Series 6 again.
Yeah.
I mean, it did basically what it did in Series 4. Got a few good hits in, but then didn't do anything else. But it's better than not working. So, I'll take that. I mean, also, this battle also makes me realise a big question that I have to keep reminding myself this, honestly. Saint Aggro was in Series 6?
Yeah.
Because I always keep forgetting it was in Series 6. I know it was a Series 7 semi-finalist, but in Series 6 I'm just like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
It was a Series 6 first round loser.
I just feel like maybe because I just don't remember. I never always associate with Series 7 more. I just completely blanked the fact I was in Series 6. They kept the nice Hawaiian shirts, which makes no sense, but I enjoy it.
At least it would go on to become Maelstrom.
Yeah, actually, it was nice to see Kungetrix actually being a decent performer in a battle for a change.
Yeah, it actually worked pretty well in this fight.
It's very rare for Kungetrix to work.
I loved it when it was playing chicken with Growler around the pit as well.
Oh, that was funny. It was a really fun opening battle. I mean, one of the things Series 6 did lack a little bit was a little bit of in the personality department. Both Series 6 and 7, but this was definitely a battle of personality. Hands down. And you had 4 very interesting robots together. You had a crushing jaw lifter, a full body spinner, you had like a double lifter, and like an axe lifter combo like Mortis. So it was interesting. Interesting set of robots.
It was a really interesting lineup and made for a fun as hell fight.
And thankfully the best 2 robots I think who performed in the battle made it through. So
I would have said the best 2 was Smidsy and Syntaggro, but Come Getrix deserved a first round win by that point.
Yeah, but still, it's not like Saint Aggro won't do anything else. So they got something eventually. But yeah, it was a very underrated fight. Actually, I never thought about that. I might have to watch that one again. Actually, just to.
I recommend it for any Robot Wars fan. It is a fun 3 minutes.
Yay! Number 6 worst. Dear God. I'm just gonna say it. Splinter, Killatron, and Agrabot. What the hell?
Fuck, the match that gave me an aneurysm.
The worst Mayhem fight. I mean, a lot of people give a lot of stick for the Napalm one, but technically Napalm won fair and square because Gemini couldn't self-right because they put the stupid bars on the robot. It was their fault. It wasn't Napalm being cheap or being lucky. It was just bad design by Gemini.
Napalm was literally reenacting the ending to the first Kingsman movie where everyone's heads was exploding around it.
Yeah, and that's why I don't really hate that battle too much. It's one of the few Napalm battles I'll defend. But this battle...
I hate it as a battle, but I find it hilarious as a spectacle.
Oh, it's hilarious, but this battle's just not even fun. I mean, Splinter honestly was very lucky that the House Robots decided to pick on Killatron for no reason. I mean, Agrabot didn't really do anything. I mean, Agrabot did something, but they were pretty much out of it. But then, yeah, Killatron wasn't immobile, and they just picked on it, put it in the pit, and there was no judge no contest about that, and Splinter just won. And Splinter was almost knocked out from the by Agrabot at one point. But
oh god, that fucking lifter that Agrabot had.
Oh, it's weird. I still don't get it. It's just this like lifts its own entire wedge up.
Yeah, but they also got a claw at the back, so they could easily get beached on that claw and.
Like they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a reason why I didn't get into Series 5, by the way. That might be the reason why.
Design flaw.
Yeah, quite a big design flaw.
They kept it for 3 whole series.
And then, yeah, Killatron getting really picked on for no reason. Like, I don't get it. Like, what did Killatron do to Sir Killalot? That was that bad. I mean, I think you should be going after Wheelosaurus in Series 4. Picking on house robots.
I'll give it this, at least the best robot won.
Oh, the best robot won, but when you win in such a bullshit way, you end up feel like the worst robot somehow.
And at least if Killatron won, then we wouldn't have had as good of an Annihilator, I don't think.
No, but even Splinter wasn't performing that well in this battle either.
Oh no, Splinter was definitely suffering for some reason.
I don't know if it was after it fought Bigger Brother or not, but...
It might have been. It might have, like, that flip from Bigger Brother might have jarred something loose for Splinter, and then they had to go into the mayhem, and they didn't notice.
And then maybe. I mean, they were looking to get through, honestly, but this battle was just bad as a mayhem. I mean, every other mayhem I can at least understand, and the best robot won. Again, the best robot did win, but... Why? Why did it have to be so unfair?
The best robot won, but in a bullshit way.
Exactly, and that's somehow worse. It wasn't a legitimate win, it just felt a bit cheap.
Yeah.
But please cleanse my palate with the number 6.
I would cleanse your palate, but I'm afraid this number 6 is going to piss off a lot of people, especially in the shunt posting.
Can't wait.
Because it's Razor versus Tornado in the grand final of Series 6.
I like that battle, though.
A lot of people don't.
Well, they're fools.
Tornado cheated!
Yeah, Tornado cheated by using things that they can use.
Tornado cheated by using the gimmick that Tornado had become famous for, which is interchangeable weaponry.
And also, I think they deserved a break. I mean, how many times have they gone against Razor and just been lost in 2 seconds?
I know.
But it's nice to see Razor struggle against them for a change, because every other time, Razor comes up to them, grabs them, and that's it. That's the whole battle.
Yeah.
And they're gone. They break down, or they get put in the pit, or they're just 3 minutes of that. But, yeah, it was nice to see tactics for a change.
It is nice to see Roboteers back then altering their robots to fight certain opponents. Like, it's commonplace now, but back then, if you had a robot in Robot Wars, you wouldn't alter it or change it or anything for your opponents. You just keep it as it is and then wonder why the fuck you lost. It's great to see Tornado thinking ahead and thinking, hold on, how can we get over this?
It wasn't a bad fight either, for what it's worth.
No, it was a really good fight. Really good for a Series 6 Grand Final fight, because the Series 6 Grand Final had a lot of good robots, but they're pretty naff in the battle area, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, like Terahertz killing itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't as fun to watch as it could have been. Like, Firestorm versus Terahertz sounded amazing on paper.
Yeah, it sounded amazing on paper, but then John Reed good hit himself.
He cranked it up to 1 million, didn't he? And then killed himself. He gave himself too many good hits. That was his problem. He jacked himself up on hits. He hit himself.
It was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's big. It was a different kind of drug hit, wasn't it? But yeah, I agree. This fight is great, and people who moan about this fight are just annoying. not saying if you disagree with this, anything about this. I'm not saying you're stupid or annoying if you do, but if you go around the internet complaining about it, no one cares. That's the point. No one cares.
How old is Series 6 now?
Oh, it's got to be about 12, 13, 14 years now.
Yeah, I'd say about 14 years.
Yeah, so it was 2002, wasn't it? 3, smart.
Yeah.
So it's been quite over 10 years.
If it's 2002, then it's 16 years.
It's been over 10 years, let's say that. Who cares at this point? They've already won it, so you can't stop Tornado winning Series 6 at this point.
Hey, if you're angry that Tornado did the clever thing and actually altered their robot to compete against a certain robot, go on the internet and complain.
Because I'm sure you'll get lots of street cred from doing that. Definitely. But yeah, I
I'll
agree.
I'll be sure to wipe my ass with your complaints.
I agree. This is a great battle, though. It was perfect.
It was a really good battle.
It wasn't the best, my absolute favourite. Grand final battle. I'm sure we'll be hearing that one later. So I know one of your choices.
Yeah.
But this was definitely worthy of being a grand final battle, nonetheless. It was great. Number 5 on my list, though. Do you want to go back to Series 3? And remember I said Napalm's in this list a lot?
Oh, fuck. Is it against Caterkiller?
Of course it is. Napalm versus Caterkiller for number 5.
Yes.
I mean, I said Sergeant Meeker was just 2 robots driving around in a circle. This is the definition of the slowest battle I've ever seen. A robot that with tracks that can move about 3 miles an hour, and Napalm, which has already come from a different series, that hadn't been upgraded at all. And they just
wheelchair wheels.
Yeah, and the only exciting bit was one bit where Napalm pushed Caterkiller slowly towards the pit, and it dodged somehow. How it moved out of the way, I don't know. It must be it was an angle, maybe. And it just went to the side. That's the most. If you're highlighting your battle is slowly pushing a robot towards the pit, give up. I mean, yeah, Napalm was okay. Great, Napalm. Granted, Napalm deserved to win the fight, but who really cares? It was awful.
I'm just so glad these girls came back with Cat Free.
Yeah, and hell, even Caterkiller from Series 4 looked better than this.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the awkward design of Caterkiller didn't really help either, but it was just 2 really slow robots going against each other, and that's not good television in the slightest. It is just... I
mean, they edited out battles like Beast versus T-Bone to like just under a minute. Why couldn't they do the same to this?
I mean, yeah, this lasted 5 minutes, may I add, as well, in real time. The
audience must have been bored shitless.
I mean, a lot of people give some battles, like in Series 8 to 10, shit for how boring they were, but that was only 3 minutes. This is 5.
Oh, God.
Yeah, most of these battles went for 5 minutes, so...
I will say this about Napalm, and this may be a bit harsh, but I don't care. It's Napalm. It is not a robot. It is a wheelchair cosplaying as a robot.
Harsh but fair.
That is my absolute opinion on Napalm.
I don't hate Napalm. I just hate it when it makes really bad battles.
I hate Napalm simply due to the fact that the team refused to upgrade it at all and gradually made it worse.
Somehow. I mean, it's sad when your best performing robot outside of your debut is the same robot again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something wrong there. And I mean the same. I don't mean the same design like Chaos 2. No, the exact same robot. Pretty much. But...
it's sad that Napalm is coming.
It is, but... oh well, we're going to do. Anyway, what is your 5 best, then?
My number 5... right, I'm listing this as the best matches in Robot Wars history, not my personal favourites.
Okay.
The best matches. But this number 5 is my personal favourite match.
Oh, I know what it is, then.
Arnold A. Terminator versus Pussycat.
Oh, the Annihilator final.
Yes.
This was an amazing fight.
My shit.
Care to explain this one? Because I remember you mentioned this also on my podcast as well.
Yeah, when I
plug,
did the Annihilator with you guys.
Plugging, by the way.
It's a fantastic fight between a true underdog and a true seasoned veteran. You've got Pussycat that's been on top of his game throughout the entirety of the Annihilator, ripping shit into Arnold A, but Arnold A doing his best Wild Thing impression, never giving up, always going in for the kill. And even when they were losing power towards the end, they still wouldn't give up. They still kept fighting Pussycat. It was a fantastic 5-minute match. I will go back and back to see it all the time. I love it.
And it's the last time we'll ever see Arnold Terminator.
Oh, fuck Series 5.
God damn, I mean, in fact, it did get out. It didn't fail to... it failed the qualifiers, so... what are you going to do?
Capitator got in.
Yeah, they should have got... I think they should have got on a discretionary place, honestly. Because loads of robots did that failed. I mean, hell, Immortalis did.
Annihilator full of Series 4 semi-finalists, for God's sake.
I mean, Immortalis got a discretionary place. Look what they did with it.
They got their ass eaten by Shunt.
Yeah, and that was a Team Death robot as well. I mean, I love them, but come on. At least have one, at least have the other.
Yeah. But no, I view this match as a very, very good fight. It wasn't necessarily back and forth, but Arnold A just would not give up. It took Pussycat to the full 5 minutes. Even at one point managed to trap Pussycat in his axe, accidentally, might I add. But
That was
still,
the little hug they did.
yeah,
It was beautiful.
but still showed great control.
It was a great battle, and it was a worthy Annihilator final. The best robot did win, but Arnold put a damn good fight up.
Yeah,
It was
I mean-
it was clear by the end of it that Arnold was knackered.
yeah.
It was not, but it did not want to fight anymore.
But considering that it managed to outlast Splinter, Hypnodisc, Exterminator, and Thermidor 2, it deserved the rest.
Well, Thermidor 2 isn't really much of an achievement to outlive. 'Cause I mean, on a good day, it does terrible. So,
Chompalot outlived Thermidor 2.
nom nom. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. But, yeah, I agree with you.
Twice, might I add.
Yeah,
Twice.
yeah, twice they've outlived them.
Because Chompalot lost after Thermidor 2 in Series 6.
Wow,
God.
Thermidor really has a hatred for them, doesn't it? I mean, one thing that a lot of people hate though is number 4 spot. It's Razor versus Tornado, the All Stars final.
Oh, that one.
Fuck this battle. I mean,
Just om nom nom in the pit, om nom nom in the pit. Get the fuck in the pit. Get off my floor. Get in the pit. Okay, I've won.
like this battle was annoying to me, not because it's pretty much every Razor fight that wasn't the cage one. It's the fact that this was what the All Stars was building up to. All these amazing fights, including the Stinger one, including ones I liked as well, like the one you had Chaos 2. Chaos 2 ones had some good ones. Razor had some good ones even before. Tornado had some great ones.
You had matches like Firestorm versus Wild Thing, Wild Thing versus Dominator 2.
Yeah, even and yeah, as you mentioned before, Stinger versus Pussycat.
Yeah.
And what do we get out of it? A match where Razor just grabs onto Tornado, it dies, pits it. That's literally the entire fight, and it's one of the only times that Tornado's ever broken down. Apart from in its Mayhem qualifier against King B and Steel Avenger. That's it.
And arguably against Theodore as well.
Arguably, I think it was still working. It was lift up the ground.
We don't really know because of the camera work. Like,
It was still moving up until the point Theodore grabbed it.
Yeah.
So I think it was just a traction thing, or they're running out of power or something. But they're the confirmed times. It's only confirmed twice to have broken down, and potentially con Series 5 above. That's impressive for Tornado. But
Yeah.
the fact that this is what it built up to is shite. I mean, Razor didn't even do didn't do a different strategy. They did the same thing, and this is why a lot of people don't like Razor. It's one of the reasons why I can't say I love Razor. It's not that I hate the team or the robot. It just does the same thing every time. And after so many times, you just kind of get bored by it. And even Tornado to a certain extent, but at least Tornado does, various ways of, taking robots. Razor does the same thing every time. Grabs them, lifts them up, puts them in the flame pit, puts them down for 2 seconds so they can technically say they're not pinning them.
Yeah.
And then lift them back up again. And that's all they did against Tornado. They just grabbed against the arena wall, put them in the flame pit, kept grabbing them, then died. That's what our All Stars was leading up to.
They built an entire series around the All Stars as well.
And Razor fucked it up. Of course, because it's Razor. I'm sorry, I'm just annoyed by
What
it.
this match could have been. I mean, we know what this match could have been because I had it on my list earlier.
Yeah, exactly. It'd been so coincidental if you had that as your number 5 and it went straight to my number 4.
Oh, don't worry, I don't hate myself that much.
No, but that'd been a good coincidence. But yeah, Razor versus Tornado All-Star fight. I mean, I'm actually be covering it soon. I think on my actual podcast myself. But fuck this fight,
Yeah,
seriously.
And I think I'm in that episode as well.
Yeah, I think you are.
I am. Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
I just don't like this fight. Again, if it was a normal Razor fight, I'd gone, it wasn't a good fight. But as an ending to an entire competition that took almost all the series to get through, that's bad. That is really bad. And again, that's why it's so high. That's why it's so high up. It's because it's just awful and lost all expectations for what the All Stars could have been. And thankfully, they did it better in Extreme 2. But
yeah, I mean, I love me some Razor. I think it can put on some really good fights.
Oh, it can. No, Razor when it is controlled right and not just doing the same thing over and over again. Razor is a beautiful, really good robot. But
I mean, one example is Razor versus Firestorm in Series 6.
Yeah, even Razor versus Gemini was at least more entertaining.
I mean, Extreme 2, Extreme 2.
Yeah, but I mean, when it's done right, Razor is entertaining. When it does what it does here, Razor's boring, and that's why it's kind of hit or miss for me. But there's nothing against the robot of the team. It is just the technique they use. It's like how a lot of people got mad at Tough as Nails, just doing the same thing over and over again. The robot's not bad, just if you do the same thing over and over again, so will get a little bit annoyed after a while, and I'm not personally, but I can see why people would not like it.
I personally do like Tough as Nails due to the fact I like myself a good control bot.
I know, I like Tough as Nails as well, but some people do get a little bit annoyed by it. Hell, some people even get annoyed at Eruption for being just the out-of-the-arena robot now. And I still like Eruption, so you know what? I don't know. I don't see it personally.
Me, I love Eruption.
Oh, I love a good flipper. Especially one like Eruption. But yeah, this match sucked. Anyway, number 4 on your list?
So we're going back to Series 5, and can you tell me a better underdog story in Robot Wars than the story of Bigger Brother?
Oh, Bigger Brother. I think I know which fight you're talking about.
It's in Series 3, it was a pretty naff wedge, good drive, but nothing spectacular, and it won by luck because it was given the place in the semi-finals. Series 4, the flipper was kind of shit, wouldn't go up all the way, and it lost because of it. Series 5, oh my god, what an improvement. And can we get a better match than Bigger Brother versus Hypnodisc?
The biggest underdog battle ever.
I mean, I was so split between putting Bigger Brother against Chaos 2 or Bigger Brother versus Hypnodisc here on the list, but I had to go with Hypnodisc.
It's the better fight.
It really is. I mean, it was a long fight. Hypnodisc was dominating throughout the entirety of it. Bigger Brother would not die, and they score the upset pitting, and everyone just lost their shit.
In fact, it was losing everything. It was losing armor, it was losing motors, it was losing... It lost its weapon.
Yeah, it lost its weapon.
It lost its only way of attacking, and it still managed to attack Hypnodisc and push it in the pit.
Yeah, I remember when I was a little kid I watched this match. I was just jumping up and down in my front room going, oh my god, Bigger Brother just beat Hypnodisc. My mum had a headache. But I remember being so happy watching that fight, and I'm still so happy watching it today.
It's one of the... Actually, Series 5 has one thing in common. It has a lot of moments that just make you go, holy crap, like Tornado versus Deator.
Yeah.
Or even like the simplest ones, like Shredder falling in the pit. You know, just these little moments where you just go, wow, okay. Or, Willy Cheese.
Had a lot of really good matches where they shouldn't be good matches. Like Deator versus Tornado again.
Or Corkscrew versus Exterminator.
Or S3 versus Mousetrap.
Yeah, why were these good matches? Like, they shouldn't... Or even like, I forgot who was Robo Chicken against in Series 5.
Frustration.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been a good fight, but it was. It was Robo Chicken. You think, oh, it's just Robo Chicken, who cares? But then, no, it was actually a really close fight, and that wasn't their only close fight they ever had in Robo Wars. Just look at Series 7. So...
Yeah, Series 7 match with Tough as Nails was really good as well.
Yeah, or even Big Nipper and Grim Reaper in Series 7 is one of my favourite close battles.
Yeah, I love that match.
That was an amazing battle. But back to this battle.
Yeah.
This battle was just amazing.
It was. And the fact that it was in the grand final as well.
It was the perfect place to have it.
Yeah.
Although it did kind of screw Big Brother over against Razor, though.
Yeah. But I love the fact that Bigger Brother had only just beaten the 2-time reigning UK champion, the undefeated in UK competition, Chaos 2, and yet it was still being treated as, oh, can they overcome the odds this time? They were still being treated as the underdog, and it was still a shock that they won.
But it was
by
glorious.
that time, Bigger Brother should have cemented his place as an all-star robot, and yet it still hadn't.
I think because by Series 4, in Series 4, its performance was low.
Yeah.
So I guess at some point, people thought the same thing was going to happen to them. But they didn't, and in Series 5 and 6, they were just on point.
They were.
And unfortunately, in Series 7...
Series 7 as well, if it wasn't for Iron Ore getting that lucky flip.
It was a great lucky flip, though. Amazing lucky flip. It was so quick into the battle as well, which got me. But...
Iron Ore of all robots as well.
Oh, right, yeah, of course. Because remember, they are the granddaddy of flippers.
And we're not talking about Iron Ore 6 or Iron Ore 7 or the current day Iron Ores. We're talking about the very early Iron Ore 2.1.
2.1, when decibels didn't matter, apparently. But yeah, it was an amazing fight, and I can't point anything against it. It's amazing.
It was an amazing fight, and Hypnodisc. We haven't mentioned Hypnodisc at all here either. It performed really well for Hypnodisc at this point as well.
Oh, Hypnotist was really on point in Series 5 as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, Series 4 and 5 was one of the closest times they could have won the series.
Yeah, because usually the dynamic with Hypnodisc is it performs incredibly well in the early stages, but as time gets on, the robot's beating itself up, it's wearing itself down, and by the later stages, it's usually almost dead. Here, it was performing like it was in the opening stage once again. It was so on point in this match.
I felt a bit bad for them though, because this is their third consecutive grand final, and then one little mistake makes them lose it all.
It'll be their last as well.
Yeah, the last one, because they didn't get there in Series 6 either, so... And obviously Series 6 was their worst performing time in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, the Heat were no good in, but everything else, they just really suffered in the semi-finals. It was like they were Annihilator all over again. It really was.
It was.
But it was still a great match, and worth being in the top 10, definitely. It would be my top 10 as well. Number 3 on my list, though, is possibly the most infamous example on my list of battles that no one likes. Noel Sharkey even called it his worst battle ever. Of course, it's Foxic versus MR Speed Squared. The only reboot battle on this.
Sorry.
We love you, Craig. But what an unfortunate battle to be in. And unfortunately, this made people hate Foxic, which is a shame. Because they forgot that Foxic 2 in Series 9 was amazing. They just got unlucky. But this battle, it's infamous for how shite it is.
Yeah.
You have one robot whose weapon doesn't work, and you got one robot who can barely move forwards and backwards, enter the arena and play touch each other twice in the entire 3 minutes. I mean, Sam, who was actually there and he watched it, he said literally they were the only highlights they edited out all the highlights of that battle.
What highlights?
Well, exactly, that's the thing. Them just hitting each other and them getting caught in CPZs was the only highlights in the entire battle. He saw the whole thing.
I love both robots.
Yeah.
I'm actually a fan of Mr. Speed Squared as well, unlike Harry.
No, I like Mr. Speed Squared to an extent, but when it wasn't working, as it always doesn't after its first round battle, it was doomed to failure, this battle. And if it was Foxic Series 9, this would have been an easy battle for them. But because this was unfortunately the Series 8 Foxic, which had a lot of issues, which is a shame, it meant that this battle just ended up being one of the worst. And Noel Sharkey even called out as being the worst battle he's ever seen, which I've got to contend. There's 2 more above this that I personally would say are worse. It's only because he's probably recent memories in this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, give
him credit. It's been a while.
He's probably forgotten a lot of the old battles in Robot Wars.
Oh yeah, it's been it was ages. I mean, this was Series 8 as well, so it's been a while since he's judged a Robot Wars.
This was the very beginning of Series 8.
Yeah, so it's understandable, but I guess when if you had chance to rewatch it, you'd probably go, yeah, okay, this isn't the worst. But obviously at the time, this is in the reboot anyway. It's by far the worst reboot battle. Well, hence it's the only one on my list as the reboot battle, but because it's so high up, just for how. I mean, that shows you how bad it is. It's the only reboot battle, but it's the highest one. It's on number 3 on the list.
It was so bad.
It's infamous. It is the infamous. Like a lot of people nowadays, because of the reboot series, when they describe a bad battle, they're saying it's like Foxic versus Mr. Speed Squared.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is. It's become the standard. It's like how PS Resistance was the standard of bad robots. This has become the standard of bad battles. Like, if you're better than this, you've done well. Which is a shame, because they're 2 good robots. And
I remember a few years ago, I built a featherweight to enter Robot Wars, and it was literally just a cardboard box over a remote control robot. And I superglued a kebab skewer to the front of it as a weapon. And I feel that could have done better than Foxic Mr. Speed Squared.
Actually, before we move to your 3, I will say that the Series 8 version of Mr. Speed Squared looks a bit like an Egg McMuffin from McDonald's.
It does.
Just saying. Or maybe those little kind of biscuit ones you get from America that look like scones.
Oh, yeah.
Just the way it looks in Series 8. But, yeah.
Series 8 Mr. Speed Squared is a scone. Series 9 Mr. Speed Squared is a pancake.
Yeah, he flipped the pancakes. It did do some flips, actually, in Series 9.
Yeah.
So, it flipped itself. But, yeah, this battle was the most infamous thing ever. And let's move on to your 3, because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
So, my number 3, and this blew up the Robot Wars community when it happened. So you can tell it's a recent one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a triple threat. Carbide, Big Nipper, Gabriel.
Oh, man, this battle.
This was epic.
I mean, this is one of those battles when I first heard about it, the lineup, I went, oh my god, they're dead.
Yeah.
And they weren't.
This is the first battle I had ever heard about when it came to Series 3 or Series 10, because you told me about it a couple of months before it aired.
Well, I told you about the lineup, but I didn't know the battle results.
No, you told me about the lineup, and I think the only reason you told me was because you know how much I loved Gabriel.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, oh fuck no.
But it ends up being a lot better than expected.
But Gabriel didn't die.
Yeah, Gabriel never dies apart from against Aftershock. When it does die.
And Rapid M8.
Yeah, it does die then.
Or Black D.
Yeah, Black D. Portuguese Black D.
But oh god, Gabriel did so well. And I may be wrong. Maybe seen as kind of, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about when I say this. But Big Nipper dying early on in the battle actually added to the tension of the match, in my opinion.
Well, it kind of only gave Carbide one target as well. Like, you know, Big Nipper's like, you know, once they're out, they're going, right, we're going to focus on Gabriel now.
Yes, but who knocked out Big Nipper?
It was Gabriel.
Yeah. So, for me, that means if Gabriel can knock out a robot as famously compact as Big Nipper was, can it do the same to Carbide?
And there was that nail-biting moment when Carbide got stuck in its own wheel.
Yeah.
And it was almost counted
I
out.
Carbide was out then.
They were almost counted out as well. Like a bit like they were in the grand final with the mini-bot as well.
Yeah.
But, of course, they managed to get out just in time. And that was Gabriel as well that did that.
I know.
Who cut the wheel, and then it just, you know, broke at the last moment.
And looking at Gabriel's weapon choice before the match, you're thinking, what the fuck are they doing? They're not going to last.
Actually, this battle was great for me as well, because my only complaint about Carbide in Series 9 was that it was too good. That's a great compliment on one end, but on the other end, you want to see some, you know, some kind of weakness. In Series 8, it had weaknesses. Its weapon didn't always work. It broke down occasionally, and you're like, you know what, this is actually a robot that can have flaws. In Series 9, they fixed everything, and it became unstoppable. To the point where it had a flawless victory throughout Series 9, and not a single robot even barely came close to defeating it.
The closest they came to defeating it was Ironside 3, when they actually snagged the weapon axle.
Yeah, and that was very brief. And then they just took him out. So it's like, you know, it wasn't a big deal. In Series 10, this is the first time we see Carbide in Series 10, and they have issues. And then for the rest of the series, everyone didn't take them as seriously. Or, not as seriously, but didn't sort of thought themselves, we can take these guys out. You know, Nuts 2 took them out. So, I mean, not to say that Carbide wasn't threatening in Series 10. They still, you know, beat the shit out of things like Eruption the first time and Rapid. But at the same time, it was seen as a bit more fallible, and I kind of enjoyed that more. And it took Gabriel to do that.
In a lot of people's eyes, people saw it as the Series 10 version of Carbide had trouble with a plastic black box.
Which is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Like, they could break the wheels as much as they want, but they would still keep going.
Blackbot that is infamous for people not knowing how to build it right.
Yeah, basically, if you have a horizontal spinner, you can't beat Gabriel.
No.
Essentially, that's the only reason Aftershock won, is because they had a horizontal spinner that could hit the core of Gabriel.
I will say Gabriel is probably the best designed robot I've ever seen, because
it's so simple.
It's you see it, you think it's going to fall apart, but then the wheels resist everything that touches it, and not only the wheels but the armor itself, and you're thinking, hold on, this robot's actually really fucking good. I mean, he's made it on this list twice already.
Yeah, it's just beautiful, and this fight was just nail-biting, but also really, really fun. And it didn't matter the fact that Gabriel didn't win the decision. They won the audience's vote. In that moment where they're walking out of the arena and everyone's, you know, praising them, tipping the hat to them, just, you know,
standing ovation.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
And then they lose by knockout to Aftershock next.
Yeah, that was a little bit disappointing, but then again, it was a bit more predictable because Aftershock was more designed to beat Gabriel than Carbide ever could be.
Aftershock could reach the body.
Yeah, Aftershock can reach... Basically, any robot that can reach the body is able to defeat Gabriel, but if you can't, like Carbide couldn't, you're not going to have a good time at all. And we've talked...
lose the D.
Yeah. I mean, we talked a lot about this battle, but it's worth it. It's such an amazing battle. It's my favourite battle of Series 10, apart from one particular battle.
It's a shame that Big Nipper couldn't get into the match more.
Yeah.
At the same time, it losing made sense to me because Gabriel knocked out Big Nipper. They can do the same to Carbide.
And also it meant that Big Nipper didn't take that much damage in the battle.
Yeah.
So they were able to kind of, throw Smash into the arena.
That was fun as hell to watch.
Yeah. Imagine if they got stuck into the action too quickly and got hit by Carbide a couple of times. They would have been a bit more worse off to wear, but being taken out by Gabriel's a lot better than being taken out by Carbide. Because you're more likely to survive one than the other, particularly because Gable didn't have their axe on, they had their their ensnarement one this time.
Mace.
Yeah, it wasn't as deadly as the axe, so they were a bit more survive. Easier to survive. And how they came third in the heat, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
That was an amazing victory over Aftershock, though.
It was.
But number 2 worst on my list, it's another melee. Unfortunately, it's probably one of the most underrated melees, but I hate this melee. I've recently talked about it on my podcast, and it's my recent episode. The German melee from Extreme 1. What even was this battle? That's a good response, Owen, actually. I mean, it's just... let's face it, Golem looked like the most competent robot, and it died. Flensburger Power survived to the end. That's also a big surprise. Didn't do anything. Ansgar had a little flipper, which is bent. So it just kind of reaches around the robot and then just taps slightly. Better than the little spike they had in the International Special. It was just a flaccid penis.
And the robot with the most pedigree behind it is the robot made out of fucking EDF.
And only because they got stuck inside Hypnodisc.
Yeah. And
they just these 4 robots and eventually 3 robots just bumbled around the arena for 5 minutes. That was it. I mean, the only reason Ansgar won was because Golem was dead, Flensburger Power did nothing, and Nasty Warrior was smoking. That was the only reason I think they won, because they did the least shit out of everyone.
And this was a qualifier for the World Championship as well.
Wow. Imagine if it'd been... Well, in fact, Flensburger Power were also in there, so I don't know what the fuck did Nasty Warrior...
Yeah, it was.
What
was absolutely pointless.
So what did Nasty Warrior not do to get in it? What Flensburger Power did? They survived better? They didn't set on fire, I guess. Maybe that's the reason why.
Do you think between this German melee and the World Championships, Nasty Warrior versus Hypnodisc happened, and
maybe
by the time World Championships came, they were just like, it's fucked.
Possibly, but yeah, this battle. I don't know what to say about this battle. It just sucks.
They hastily got a team to build a robot out of a pool cleaner and just like go.
I mean, there's not much I can say about this battle. It just sucks. It just sucks. There's nothing good about it. Like, there's not a cool moment. The only thing we get out of this is 2 robots for our International Special and a drop zone. That's all we get out of this entire battle, and it's annoying.
That's basically the only reason I love Golem, is because it was used as a drop zone.
Actually, what I knows about Golem looked like the coolest robot in this entire thing, and it dies without doing anything. Yeah. Literally because it basically walked into Matilda and died.
I remember when I was younger, I actually thought Golem was the predecessor for Mr. Nasty.
I can see it, honestly.
Because it's a box rambot with a single spike, where the spike is the nose for a face.
Yeah, but it was terrible. Just move on to number 2, because there's nothing else I can say about it. It just sucks.
Number 2. Okay. Another grand final match.
Ooh.
And considering... these robots have fought each other numerous times before with the same outcome every time. We all thought this was going to suck, and it didn't. It's Eruption versus Carbide in the Series 10 Grand Final.
Good choice.
Oh my god, where do we even begin with this match?
It's just beautiful.
It's the modern day version of Bigger Brother versus Hypnodisc.
It's that moment when you see Carbide isn't working properly.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts off very similar, but the fact that you think, okay, sooner or later, Eruption's going to break down. We'll just gear ourselves up towards that, and
It's what's happened twice before.
And it doesn't happen. And then Carbide starts smoking the weapon. They turn the weapon off. It's not going to work. And they're like, flip it. And just keep flipping it over and over again. Carbide gets in a few more hits, and it flips over and stops working again. It's amazing.
Fun?
It's amazing. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. Eruption gets fucked up again. We all thought it was going to end the same way Carbide beat Rapid.
Yeah, and it just keeps going, and the whole battle lasts the full 3 minutes.
And we're all thinking, okay, when is Eruption going to break down? When is it going to break down? I know it's coming, and it doesn't. And it flips Carbide over and over again, and breaks Carbide internally, and wins.
And finally, Michael Oates got his victory. After being very unlucky in Series 8 and being so close in Series 9 to finally getting it in Series 10. It
was a feel-good moment. Topped off by Queen. To
me, he was one of the most... Out of all the robots that have earned the championship, I felt the most for him.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I didn't feel the most for anyone else, but I feel like just considering that 2 years in a row they've had no... They had some luck. They had bad luck in Series 8. No, just not enough luck in Series 9, and then to come and win this, it's just. And Eruption is an amazing robot. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of it in Series 8, and it grew on me. Especially through Series 9, it grew on me a lot more. And in Series 10, I just adore it.
Eruption is a very love and hate robot. I've noticed.
It's
you either love it or you hate it.
It's my favorite flipper in the modern series. Absolutely love it.
I would say Apollo is my favourite flipper, but Eruption is definitely a close second.
If it worked properly all the time and was more consistent, Push to Exit would probably be my favourite. Design-wise, I love it, but I like it more. I like it design-wise way more than Eruption, but in terms of functionality and just reliability, it always ends up being the better one.
Yeah.
But it's a shame. I really want Push Straight to win. Please, Stephen, enter it into Series 11 if there is one. But Eruption, this victory, so well earned. It was a great battle, the best way to end off Series 10. And if there is no other series, fuck it, that was the greatest way to end the whole series.
Yeah.
But it's,
it end the whole series because we got 2 world specials after it.
No one remembers those as much though, apart from Deitor and the Bash.
Yeah.
And Fuzzy, of course. Fuzzy was amazing. But
Fuzzy bitching over concussion.
That was funny. It led to the infamous Tim face, so
yeah,
we can't complain about that too much. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the actual main series, the last time we would have got to see something amazing. There's probably going to be a Series 11, and that'll pop out to hell. Since BattleBots has confirmed Series 3, wouldn't surprise me that tomorrow they get a Series 11 confirmed for the 20th anniversary. My prediction, you never know. Maybe.
I don't think this is the end of Robot Wars.
I don't think so.
Good Series 10 was.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be an end to it yet. They probably got another 2 or 3 series out, probably before they get rid of this thing entirely. And
the fact they got the contract for the warehouse for the next 2 years as well.
And we haven't had the toys yet, so
yeah,
we need them. I need my pullback Behemoth, because Behemoth didn't get any love in merchandise. It needs some.
No, we really need a pullback Behemoth. We need pullback Behemoth, pullback Eruption, pullback Carbide, pullback Apollo for the first series of toys, and then see where it goes from there.
Terahertz as well.
Maybe Series 2 for Terahertz.
Maybe. I want to see a Big Nipper as well. That'd be quite cool. Interchangeable claw.
I want to see what they do with a pullback Gabriel.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Make it like Stinger.
Just have it a ripcord like they did for Stinger.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Except you won't be able to fit the ripcord into the wheel because it's so thin.
No, but this battle's amazing. I love it. I'm surprised it wasn't number 1 actually, because I thought it would be a number 1. But my number 1.
I know what it is, and I'm dreading it.
Napalm versus Warthog.
Right! Warthog is a very destructive robot. It could have shattered Napalm, but no, it didn't work. Instead, it just bumped into Napalm over and over again. Napalm won on fucking damage. How the fuck does Napalm win on damage? I'm sorry.
It didn't help that both robots weren't that fast either. It ended up being a very slow battle, and what could have been over what was. Hell, even if Warthog had worked and it broke and died because it's Warthog, at least we would have seen something.
Oh.
Plus, also, it might have been the case that Napalm was so damaged, they might have gone, to retire, and Warhawk would have got back in. I don't know, possibility. Even if they did lose, at least would have lost in an honourable victory, but this is losing by the most pathetic way possible. And I get it, not every robot can work right off the start, but it's just a shame.
Napalm beat a full body spinner by fucking damage points.
Hell, it worked in Series 4 and 6, but unfortunately in Series 5, I guess the team forgot to know this, because it didn't work in Series 5, which is a big shame. And yeah, it's infamous. It's almost as infamous as Foxic versus Mr. Speed Squared. In fact, it is the Foxic versus Mr. Speed Squared of the classic series. Nothing is worse. Yes, you do. Nothing is worse than this battle in the classic series. Nothing is worse than it in the classic and the modern series combined. In my opinion, it is the worst battle of Robot Wars, period. And if Noel Sharkey could watch back every bad battle, he would agree that this is the worst, I think. But so let's just get to your okay. Owain, before you die, at least tell me what your number one is. End on a positive note.
And on a positive note,
yes.
Well, we gotta go back to Series 5 for that.
I'm fine with that.
Semi-final, where the heat winner of that very episode that Napalm vs. Warhog was in, fought up against the reigning UK champion in the absolute best match in Robot Wars history, Chaos 2 versus Wild Thing.
Oh boy.
Oh, this match was so good.
It's just, how could you get a better fight than this?
You got two really good performers. The twice UK Grand Champion and a twice UK semi-finalist. A robot that was notorious for never backing down, never breaking down, and a robot that could flip you out of the arena whenever it wanted. They put on the best match of the entire series. Not just Series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. The entire series. All of them.
It was
How
amazing.
How can you get better than this fight?
You can't really. It's just two really well-engineered and well-driven robots going
full distance.
Yeah, and there's that one bit where Chaos 2 almost goes into the pit twice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so nail-biting every time I watch it. Even though I know what's going to happen.
I have watched that clip so many times, and I still can't for the life of me figure out how Chaos 2 managed to shift the weight so that it didn't go in the pit.
It was a shame they didn't manage to get past the losers melee afterwards.
It is, because I think Wild Thing deserved at least one more top 8 place.
Unfortunately, damage was the biggest category against S3.
Yeah.
And Spawn Again was Spawn Again, so, you know.
I don't mind S3, I think it's a really good robot, but
it was a shame.
Wild Thing earned that place more.
I agree with the decision, but it was a shame to see Wild Thing go out so in that way. But
yeah,
the fight it lost in, though, was a very worthy fight. And in fact, even the heat it came through was a really good heat. So, it had a journey just to get here. I mean, every fight...
two really good matches, one with Trouble and Strife and the other with Prize Fighter.
Not Napalm 2 fight.
No, fuck Napalm. Fuck Napalm!
Okay, relax.
It had really good matches in this heat with Trouble and Strife and Prize Fighter. The Prize Fighter one, I think Wild Thing deserved the win. I know a lot of people think Prize Fighter should have won, but I think Wild Thing earned that. Goes into the semi-final against Chaos 2 and just tears the house down with it. I'm going to watch this match again. It was that good.
It was that good?
Yes. It was a fantastic fight.
Yeah, it really gave Chaos 2 a bit of a problem as well.
Yeah, because Wild Thing was dominating throughout the match in its own way, whilst Chaos 2 was dominating the match in its own way as well. It's one of those fights where you look back on it, and you look back at it one time, you'll see one robot dominating. You look back on it another time, you'll see the other robot dominating. Also,
I believe this is Nick Housen's favourite fight he's ever had as well.
Yeah, it is.
Which really doesn't surprise me. I mean, to go against the twice reigning UK champion is an honour in itself, and to have a great fight like this, and almost win, is even better.
And this is the last win in Chaos 2's undefeated streak as well.
And also the last time we really see Wild Thing do anything amazing.
And then they would come back in Series 6 and fuck it all up.
Yeah, we don't think about Series 6. Never talk about that.
But I love Wild Thing. I love Chaos 2. I think they put on the best match in Robot Wars history. And it's still being talked about today. People are still talking about how good this match was to this day, and that's what makes it number one.
I agree.
And before we end this, we got some honorable mentions for the list as well.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
Go on then.
The 10 Robot Rumble.
Oh, that was great.
Good. It was great, but not 10 worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically. the first round of the Northern Annihilator.
Not a bad one.
Again, that was a really good match as well. Androne 4000 versus Tauron.
Oh yeah, that was a great one.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tom, but he just missed out on the list. Bigger Brother versus Panic Attack versus Cat Free versus Firestorm.
Oh god, yeah, that was great.
It wasn't really a match, but
It was funny.
It was funny as a spectacle. You could literally just hear Cassius Chrome screaming, "Help me!"
Yeah, you really can. Why have I done this?
it was literally a bunch of zombies just ganging up on a victim and just slowly tearing it to pieces. S3 versus Mousetrap. Had no business being as good as it was.
Oh no, but it was amazing.
Yeah. Apollo versus Carbide in the Series 8 Grand Final. It was so close to being on the list.
Very close, was it?
Yeah. I really wanted to put this match on there, but the other matches just slightly topped it. TR2 versus Carbide, because TR2 doesn't suck.
No, it doesn't.
Even though we love saying it does.
I don't. I like it.
I like it, but I also like joining in on the memes.
I suppose. You like memeage.
I like my memes.
Memes.
Finally, for the honorable mentions, Pulsar versus Gabriel.
That's a good one as well.
It was the best match of the reboot until Series 10 came along.
It was definitely the best Heat final as well in Series 8.
Yeah.
And the 4-1 would have been if it hadn't broken down.
Yeah, true.
But I only have one set of honorable mentions for mine.
What's that?
Pretty much every fight in Series 2.
No.
Come on. Was there a really great fight in Series 2 apart from some of the semi-final ones and the grand finals?
Inquisitor versus Razor.
That was a great fight, yeah. Whoa.
Pandemonium versus Demolition Demon. No, Demolition Demon fought Victor, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a great fight as well. I was thinking, I don't remember those two fighting each other.
A great fight that never happened.
That's how good it was. And everyone knows the best one was obviously the best fight in all time. Max Damage versus Agent Orange, come on.
A robot's so good that the one
Well done.
a fight so good that one robot died from how epic it was before the fight even started.
They thought they were so good they didn't bother turning the robot on. They thought we can win without it. That's how good we are. But
Can we talk about what the best robot is in terms of battles?
what's that?
How good this robot performed in every battle it was in. Against King Bee, against Kilohertz, against Destructor Bubble, against Splinter.
Oh god, I know you're calling
And
it.
of course talking about the legend that is Eric.
It's so good it fell in the pit, yeah.
Yes, it is.
God.
And you can't deny the reckoning.
I can deny it because it's shite. And now Harry's a mod on Shouldn't Posting, we can get less Eric memes. So I'm not complaining. Not complaining. Harry, do your job. If you listen to this, get rid of the Erics. Please.
Harry, you know you love me, and you never said happy birthday to me when it was my birthday.
I'm sure that was not the reason why you should not get rid of Erics.
You waited 24 hours. You waited 48 hours. You didn't wish me happy birthday at the very end of the 16th.
He was busy. What are you doing,
So
Miguel?
was I.
What were you
I
doing?
was busy breaking my heart because one of my best friends in the world didn't wish me happy birthday.
Oh, he has work to do. Besides, you're Welsh. I don't know. I'm sorry.
You stop with the fucking Welsh jab. You wonder why I'm making you watch Birdemic at the end of this month.
It's still worth it. I guess we'll have to end this video before we start rambling at this point.
We've been rambling for the past 10 minutes.
I know, but to stop rambling even further.
Alright, we're ending this.
We're
This
ending
was the first ever episode of the 10 to Jester Robot Wars files. Thank you very much, James, for being with me on my adventure here today.
You're welcome.
Even though you suck.
You suck more.
Go watch his episodes on YouTube if you want to fall asleep.
Go and watch his YouTube channel because there's nothing on it. There you go.
Yeah, so they can't watch my YouTube channel, they can't fall asleep.
Well,
I win!
yeah, but at least, but it's kind of a compliment because some people like to watch things to help them go to sleep. If anything, I'm anti-insomnia. Come on. I get people to fall asleep. Some people have insomnia. You never know. You don't know their life. Yes, I am. I can agree with that. But
or an Eric.
Doesn't work.
Dick.
Doesn't work.
Fuck you, we're ending this. Goodbye, everyone. I am the Center Jester. He was James. You've been watching the Robot Wars files. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.